Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. Just to briefly introduce myself, my name is Jully. I graduated from Dulwich College Shanghai in 2018, and I'll be walking through some of my uni life and some tips to give you guys for IB and IGCSE. So just to briefly talk about my journey, as I just mentioned, I graduated from Dulwich College Shanghai in 2018. I did both IGCSE and IB for my exams. And afterwards, I started my biochemistry degree at Imperial College London from 2018 to 2021. And after graduating from my biochemistry degree, I decided to, continue my study a little bit more on life science by taking my master course at Imperial College London again with a degree title of Molecular and Cellular Biosciences. And currently, I'm working as an associate consultant. I am in London at a company called EY Parthenon, and I actually recently just joined the firm, so I'm fairly new on this journey at the moment. So what I want to talk about first is my life at Dulwich College Shanghai. Let me just put this at the top. Yeah, so I want to first talk about what kind of IB subjects I studied when I was in Dulwich and what kind of extracurricular activities I've taken. So for my IB subjects, my higher level were math, chemistry, and business management. And my standard level was biology, English first language, literature A, and Mandarin B. I did my EE, which is extended essay on business management, if anyone is wondering. And for my extracurricular activities, I'll be very honest, I wasn't really active in CCAs at Dulwich, but the one really big activity I've done was doing this reef charity organization with some of my friends, and making merches and selling them at like winter fair, remember, to raise some donation for coral reef sustainability. One thing I really wanted to mention before going on to the other thing was in terms of IB subjects, I really wanted to tell people that I really wanted to emphasize that checking the subject requirements for the university or the course that you want to study is really important, because I actually had to drop or go up on a higher level based on the subjects that were required by my dream university or the university that I was potentially targeting for. So please make sure if you are currently on the stage of choosing your IB subjects, please make sure you check these requirements before you finalize your subjects, because you cannot go back once everything has been confirmed. So I wanted to share a little bit of my tips for studying for IB or just general subjects. Just wanted to tell people that I was not really, I wasn't that student who always got good grades. I actually started off with first predicted grade of 32 out of 42, I remember. But I boosted it up and made it to final result of 40 out of 45. Some people might be like, well, not impossible, as in like that's a rare case. Some people might think, oh well, like she probably like studied her, whatever. She studied a lot for it, whatever. But I really want to tell people that it's actually not impossible at all. And it's really, I have seen a lot of people, including myself, pulling up a lot of grades by the end of their IB study length course. So my top 3 tips that I really wanted to share was really the first thing is to emphasize the importance of past papers. I'm not sure if people here realize this by now, but IB exams really like to use similar questions from previous years, but having just a little tweak around it. This is fact because they do have what was the thing called? I remember there were like they IB has like a set of things that they really want to test you on. But anyways, they really like to use similar questions, and even if they're different, they really like to test your knowledge on certain type of concept or theory. So it is really important to, get used to those similar questions because those are kind of your free mark. So yeah, I really want to emphasize the importance of past papers. And on top of that, I found making a separate note for collecting all the wrong answers throughout the whole 2 years of my IB study was actually really useful, because by the time when you actually get to the final exam stage, you just want to work on the things that you are weak on, right? You don't want to waste your time solving things again that you kind of know you're good at already. So what I had a separate notebook where I just like had all the questions I always made mistake on, and under that I will have proposed solution from the marking scheme, but also my own way of like getting the answer correct. And I always crossed out a question when I felt like I mastered it, or I mastered it at one point. So like by the end, I will really just have some questions that I know that I will have to work on before the final IB exam, and that really saved a lot of my time, and it was very, very effective. So I really recommend this wrong answer notebook for all of you guys. And the second tip that I want to tell you guys is make your own notes for every subject, whether it's IGCSE or IB. Please do not try to make these notes before your final IB exam or like your mock exam, because when it accumulates, the amount you have to make notes on become really big, and this is really not an effective way of revising when you only have like few weeks left. So please, every time when your class finishes a topic or a chapter, just take few days or few hours per day to really just make your own notes ahead of the time. And I can tell you that it really helps you at the end. You will not regret doing it. So please make your own notes. The third question is, please ask questions whenever you're stuck on something or if you don't understand anything. This might sound very generic and, very simple, but it's very important because I always had so many questions that or quite stupid. Like, it was very clear that everyone else in the class understood except me. Like, even those very simple concepts, I sometimes didn't really get it. And I never felt embarrassed to ask my teacher or my friends about those because at the end I knew that I will understand it, at the end. So please don't feel like you're being dumb and like not asking questions. Please ask questions. They really help. And I'm pretty sure a lot of your classmates also have the same question. So yes, please do that. Right, I'm gonna go on to applying for university and choosing degrees, because this was the thing that I actually spent most of my final year in. So I applied to 3 different universities. I applied to universities in Korea, that's where I come from. I applied to Hong Kong, and I also applied for universities in UK. I got rejected by Oxford University, but I got all offers for the remaining universities I applied to. So first tip I want to give on this application process is please apply to as many as you can. You really don't know what's going to happen, so you really want to be safe on this process here. I've seen some people just applying to few universities because they knew that they felt very confident and they felt like nothing will change in next few months. But some things can actually happen, and it could be something to do with your like visa, or somehow like you can't really get the visa in that country or whatever, or it could be that you become sick and like you might not be able to meet the grade that you thought you can at the beginning. And really, if you don't have any of those safe university choices lined up for you, you really don't have any choice rather than taking a gap year. And I just hated the concept of taking a gap year. I don't know why. So I remember I applied to as many as I can, just to make sure I have at least one university I can land onto. If you're not sure on what to do, please choose a safer degree. So this just to share a little bit about my personal experience on this. I was quite of I was a very difficult student. I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. All of my friends and most of the people in my cohort kind of knew what they wanted to do, whether it was like on medicine, engineering, business. They knew what they wanted to do. But I really couldn't decide between biochemistry or business management for my university degree. I really, really liked learning about business, but at the same time, I thought that I was quite strong at biology and chemistry. And I didn't want to give up on I wanted to have both, to be honest. I didn't want to let go of another one. So what I did was I went with the safer degree. So for this, I really thought about choosing a college that has better reputation and also a subject that is more flexible. So for example, what I mean by subject flexibility here is, can you use that degree to go back onto the subject that you wanted to do before? So for example, for me, I knew that if I choose business for my university degree, I knew that I will not be able to go back and study biochemistry or enter a career path that's related to science, because I know that there is no, because I just knew that how it works, right? But I knew that even though I study biochemistry, I would be able to still get a job and do jobs that are related to business management, and how I knew this was through having various conversation with counselors, our subject teachers, and everyone. So if you're not sure on what you want to do, I really recommend going for the safer degree where in the long term in your life can help you out and will not really restrict you from going into a sector that you couldn't think of when you're like 17 or 18 years old. So yeah, that's my tip for this. And the third point, backup university, I mentioned it just now. Please apply to as many so that you can have a backup university, and make sure that the backup university is where you know that you will be happy and be fine with. Apply and prepare as early as possible. I'm not sure about applying early, but please prepare as early as possible. When you start your final year 13, you will feel you will be very busy. You will be very busy. You will not really have that time to just focus on your application. You'll be busy with so many different things. I can tell you from my own experience. So you will regret your time, your summer holiday where you did nothing, because I did. I regret a lot. By the start of your year 13, you should already have finalized draft for your personal statement or your whatever letter that you require for that university application. Once you have this ready from the beginning, your life is going to be so much easier, and I can guarantee on this. So please feel ready about sending an application as soon as you start year 13. And my last tip is please feel free to ask for personal statements for reference. So for example, like in my case, I remember I asked one of alumni from Dulwich who got offer from Imperial Biochemistry. I asked her if I can, have a look at her personal statement, not to copy or anything, but just to, get the overall picture and like see how her personal statement was strong enough to get her into the university and what could have been better. Like I took my own time to actually analyze her personal statement and kind of apply it on mine and kind of like write on my own style, but also applying what she did well on it. And it really helped. So please ask around your friends or your counselor if they have any sample personal statement that you can potentially have a look at. So I'm just going to talk more about my university life. So as I said, I went to Imperial Biochemistry and I graduated with, luckily, first class degree classification. I really wanted to tell people about this, that I actually missed my UCAS condition. I remember they wanted, I think 7 in my math because I didn't do higher level biology. So I needed 7 for my math subject, but I missed my 7 on math just by 1 point, not even 1%, just by 1 point. So what I did was, I remember I emailed the student team at Imperial sending them the breakdown of my exams, and also kind of rewriting my personal statement and saying like why I really, really want to, study at Imperial, and it'll be very great have an opportunity there, blah, blah. And they told me to wait until the A-level results are out. And when I checked my UCAS on the day that the A-level results were out, I saw that I was accepted. And I was quite surprised because I heard stories that it is quite, there are stories where people just got straight rejected after not meeting the condition. So I really recommend people to always try and see what happens even if you miss your UCAS condition, because you really don't know. You really don't know if they're going to take you in or not. For my Imperial College London life, I decided to take more leadership roles at college because I remembered that back in Dulwich, I barely took any. So I took vice president role for Imperial Consultancy Society, sponsorship officer for Biochemistry Society, and I was a basketball manager for Korean Society as well. And after graduating from my BSc degree, I decided to take master degree for molecular and cellular biosciences at Imperial College London. I think this is like one of the page of my dissertation. It was a research master, so where I had to take no exams, but rather I was graded on my laboratory skills. I actually had to do experiments to produce results, write dissertation, and yeah. So basically, it was a degree where I really was able to improve my wet lab skills, research skills, and it was really fun. That's the picture of Imperial. If anyone's wondering, it's not that pretty, but yeah. So just a few tips for university life, I would say is please take leadership roles. Once you're done with IB and your high school, the next big task that comes to your life will be getting a job, if this applies to everyone here. And to get into the job that you want, it's really important to show them some of the key soft skills as an employee. And these include like communication skill, like team working skill, or like whatever skills. But you can't just say that you have them. You really need to show them how you have developed and used those skills. And the best way to tell them about this is you taking leadership roles at societies at university. And this is really helpful because I did a lot of leadership roles in university. I really think that really helped me to land the job that I wanted to get. So please, I know people are not really focusing on university lives yet, but please, when it comes to you, I would suggest taking leadership roles. Also, try and gain work experiences as much as you can throughout that 3 or 4 year of college life. It could be non-paid volunteer work or internship, placement year, whatever it is. It's really going to make your job application stronger. And it will be really good if those work experiences are related to the field or the job that you're applying for at the end, right? So having this will really make you very competitive candidate for sure. So like just 1 or 2 over the summer or any winter break will be really nice. Always making notes. It doesn't end even after IB. When you go to university, you will have more information given to you. and you have to process them and learn them in much shorter time. And obviously, making notes is the best way for this. And I'm pretty sure if you guys start taking the habits of making notes during IGCSE and IB, this will help you so much during university life anyway. So please do. And my fourth advice will be to tell everyone that to go and network. Go to career fairs, talk to recruiters, or go to any panel sessions. Just talk to the people working there or people who are doing the things that you're interested in, because actually making these connections help you so much when it comes to you actually trying to apply for that job or get the role in the place, in whatever that place is. Network, get their email address or connect on LinkedIn, and yeah, just please network. And also start applying for internships and job early. For UK, I'm not too sure about the States. In the UK, things already start to open for first-year students. So for first-year students, there is some stuff called spring weeks, where like you have 2-3 weeks during April break to get some insights on the company. And then the second year which is the penultimate year, they get the opportunity to apply for summer internship roles. And when you actually get that summer internship role, you might be given with return offer, which makes your life so much easier. So everyone tries to get that summer internship, and it's quite competitive. But please, but don't be overwhelmed by it. Apply as early as you can. Like keep track of like any application that is going on in the area that you are studying, and yeah, just general advice on these stuff. I know these are not really important and relevant to you guys now, but I know that this will be at one point in your life, and these were the stuff that I wish I would have known before coming to university, because no one told me about this before, and I actually and these are actually really, really helpful if you know it before going into universities. Yeah, so just briefly telling about like what I'm doing in my job right now. So I am an associate consultant at EY Parthenon. I'm not sure if people know about EY. It's quite it's one of the big four accountancy firm, but I'm under EY Parthenon, which is a separate business unit within EY that just focuses on strategy consulting. So if people have heard about like BCG, McKinsey, like those kind of firms, my company is also in that consulting sector. Why did I choose this job was, I don't know if you guys will remember, but as I mentioned in the beginning, I was never sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to do both like life science and also business. And, I had no idea where I was heading to. And I still don't know. The funny thing is I still haven't figured out what I want to do. But because I did, master's in life science already, I kind of wanted to experience the business side, the business, industry for now. So I was like, okay, I'll do strategy consulting, because consulting is a job where you can basically work with every single sector that you can think of. The current project that I'm doing right now is in media. So I'm like working with a client who is providing like media service to other businesses. I like my other colleagues are working in like energy sector, like life science sector, sports sector, I know some of my friends had to interview very, very famous people in, NBA and F1, and that, yeah, so those things are very interesting. And I really, really like the fact that I will have the opportunity to really explore different sectors and kind of figure out what I want to specialize in at the end. It also has very sharp learning curve. So I thought that it will really boost my career as well. And because you will be working in different projects in consulting, you get to really work with different people at every time, different client, at different subject sectors. And yeah, so for even after graduating from Dulwich and Imperial, I still have not figured out what I really want to do. So I'm still in the process of exploring my interest, and I really don't think this is a bad thing. So if anyone here who also has similar problem, or think that you guys don't really know what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. And I personally think that is quite a good thing, because you don't want to just stick on something so early in your life and do that for the rest of your life, right? So yeah, just don't stress. You will always find something that you like. And yeah, these are just few photos of related to my work, and they're not that fun. So I've got some quite cute questions from Dulwich team that they wanted me to answer. So I'll just briefly go through each one of this. So how to cultivate good learning habits? Well, I personally, what I did during IB exam was I tried to get myself like my own pace. So like every day, obviously I would take breaks, like few like breaks per week, but every day I kind of like set myself a goal. So like today, I will at least like read this textbook chapter, like not something big, like anything small. I try to do that every day on a daily basis, because so that I don't really lose the habit of like revising and studying, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, so I just tried myself to basically not become lazy, and like do all the thing at the end. So I think that's what I tried. Like I just gave myself very small little goals every day, and just like, and I just tried to finish them all. Yeah. Do you have any tips on studying for exams? I think my biggest tip will be, so what I had was where every time there was like a mock exam or final exam, I printed out really, really big A3 calendar. So if it's like June, then I will have like 4 weeks of the June calendar in one page. And I will write on each day things I have to do on that day. So I will break down like my revision material into small bits, and then I will like allocate them across the whole month, like whole calendar, so that I actually plan my revision before starting on it, because revision sometimes seems like a very stressful and very big thing, but once you actually break it down and do bit by bit per day, it's actually manageable, and it's actually quite more efficient than like doing everything at once, or like on one day doing like the whole thing at once. So I really, really recommend this, because I know like all of my friends did it, and I did it, and it just worked really well for all of us. And yeah, so I think just planning your revision time is really, really important, and making sure you also like take breaks in between. That's so that you don't really like burn out. It's really important. The third question was the main criteria to be successful in my career path. I don't know what it means by being successful on my career path, but so far, the most important criteria I kind of gave myself was like trying my best to not disappoint myself, if that makes sense. So like basically trying your best. I always hated when like I failed on something, or like I did not, when I was not able to achieve something, when because I didn't put a lot of effort into it, made me really stressful because I was kind of getting disappointed at myself. So I always tried my best to like do the work, and so that I don't regret. And this actually worked really well. So I think just like trying your best and putting your effort into it is probably the most important thing to be successful in your career path. I actually don't really know, to be honest. The next question is, how do you manage the pressure of doing well in school and life? I think this is a really, really important question because I always thought after finishing my IB, my life will be amazing. It will be like magical, and like I'll have no stress in my life, nothing hard will be coming up front to me. And that was totally wrong. IB exam was probably the least stressful thing in my life so far, because things get more harder and harder, in universities, in your master degree, or like even at your job, getting the job becomes really stressful. So I think managing that, learning how to manage pressure earlier will be really, really helpful. I personally found that going through that IB process was really, really helpful for me to really learn my own way of managing my own stress. So like for me, I always like, if I was getting too much pressure, I kind of told myself, this, you can fail this, like, there's no pressure at all. Like there's like another chance coming up. Don't worry at all. Like, it really doesn't matter if you fail, just like try your best and see how it goes. Like I always told myself that, and that was kind of my way of managing the pressure when I was getting like very overwhelmed and very anxious about stuff. So, and it worked really well for me somehow. And also other ways were just like take the time off to like talk to my friend, like hang out with my friend, or watch a movie that I wanted to watch before. Just like those little things really help you like get yourself motivated. How to find one's passion. As I said in my previous slides, it's really hard to find someone's passion. But what I really think is a good way is trying out basically everything. You don't know what you like, and you don't know what you don't like. Like for example, right now I'm working in strategy consulting, right? And I'm doing quite different projects. I was like working in media project, and then I was working in, like energy project, and then I'm working at like some pro bono project. I thought I would like something, but then when I actually did it, it wasn't really that fun. And then when I was doing something that I thought I would absolutely not like it, I actually found it very interesting. So you really don't know until you try out. So if you really, really want to find out your passion and like what you're interested in, I really think taking your time to try out things will be the best way to find out your passion. 6, how do you find the motivation to push on ahead? Personally, I always like had a kind of like a dream about who I wanted to become. Like I it wasn't something like, like big or anything. I knew I kind of wanted to live abroad, like in the UK. That was what I wanted to really experience. And I was like, every time I got really strict, I got very lazy, or like every time I was like not really getting on with my work, I always thought like, oh, okay, Julie, like you need to study a little bit right now so that you can potentially live in the UK in the future. Like I kind of reminded myself what my personal goal was every time I lost motivation, and it kind of helped. And also another way is having people around you, like helping you get motivated also works as well. How do you review your classwork for tests and do homework? I think the most important part about reviewing exam is really, really digging into the questions that you got wrong. Not just like understand the worked solution and move on, but actually like understand and point out the step where the step on your thought process that made you get wrong on that question. Because if you figure that out and if you reflect on that once, you will never get it wrong again, and it saves you, and it's a very efficient way of reviewing your exam. Doing homework, just I guess try to do everything by yourself first without like asking for help in the beginning. I think that's the best way to do your homework. Top 3 advice on what to grasp as a skill and attitude values while studying in Dulwich. I guess people at Dulwich are actually in very, very good environments, because you are surrounded by so many international kids. Like you guys are in a very diverse environment, and it's actually not everyone has that. And so I think while you're in Dulwich, I think it's really important to really like learn how to like understand different people's opinion and culture, and also like why like that friend is thinking in that way, and like why I agree and disagree with her or she in like some topics or whatever. I think that skill of working with different people and is really important, and a really important skill that you can learn at college, because when you go to university, you will meet so many different people who come from very different background and very different subject matters as well. And having that skill will be very, very useful, and it will really help you to get to know a lot of different people as well. What are your IGCSE subjects, and are there any tip you could give us on them? Triple science. My IGCSE exam subjects was biology, chemistry, math, just general math, physics, art, Mandarin, I don't know what that is in IGCSE. Geography, business, and I don't remember the rest. But for my triple science, I remember, I think, another tip again is past paper. Past papers are really important, but please don't do them like like before you actually understand everything. Like please use past papers as like a final step to really like test on your knowledge and stuff. Please don't waste them. My other tip on triple science will be, I personally found like watching YouTube videos on certain concepts were quite useful because, like, for example, physics, I remember I just couldn't understand like few like topics and concepts because it was very hard for me to like visualize. So I remember like I searched just like some YouTube, very simple YouTube videos that can easily explain me those concepts. Actually helped me a lot. Yeah, I think that's the tip I can give. How does Shanghai Dulwich College help you get to your ideal college? I think Dulwich gives really, really good support for university applications, like not just UK or the States, but also in other like countries as well. I think it's because there, so many of your like alumni have applied to different places and they have that database for you guys, and they know what to support you on. And also, I know that getting into universities in the States really, really value in like extracurricular activities. And obviously, Dulwich provides a wide range of extracurricular activities for you guys to get involved in. So it does really help you guys a lot on that. And for UK universities, I know Dulwich does really, really well on this as well. And yeah, I think I'm guessing they have very good application like support system overall that will help you to get into your ideal college. I guess so. Yeah. I think that's the end of Q&A. If you guys have any question, please, you guys can email me. That's my personal email. I hope I shared very useful tips for you guys, and I wish all the luck for you for all the like IB or IGCSE exams or like university applications. And yep, that's all from me. And see you guys soon.